there's no time to waste, Charlie. Let's go out there and make people smile!
Not since the 1000 IQ of Rick and Morty have I seen an Adult Swim comedy. Can you call Rick and Morty a comedy? Anyway, that I've happily recommended to someone with a smile on my face. But now I can say there's another. Smiling Friends from YouTubers and animators Zach Hadel and Michael Cusack was picked up and piloted by Adult Swim and eventually given an 8-episode run at about 11 minutes each episode. So it's quick, but it's also a perfect thing to just binge on a weekend. And I can't believe it took this long to finally have a show born from YouTube on the mainstream that's actually good. Now, just to set expectations, Smiling Friends isn't a groundbreaking Adult Swim show, and its writing and lessons aren't going to leave people with existentialism about their place in the universe, but what Smiling Friends is above anything else, fun to watch. Its animation is a catch-all bag of styles, forms, and oddities that lends itself to a diverse world and rather recognizable characters without ever feeling incoherent. Its backgrounds, which were pointed out to me by other YouTube comments, are full of life and movement and color, even if erratic at times, which makes it so that no scene is ever boring to look at. And if your eyes take a moment to wander, you'll be rewarded with a little gremlin dashing at the speed of light, or some man jumping out of a coat hanger. I mean, compared to that of the lifeless style of Comedy Central's new Fairview, you can see just how having little oddities can make a world feel less like an odd corporate recreation of real life, and more like a lived-in place. Hell, they walk past a homeless camp on the way to make people smile in one episode, and there's no reason it should be there, and it's not really played for any kind of joke, it's just a background scene. Cast-wise, Pim, Charlie, the boss, Glep, and Alan are, again, all very recognizable and have strong voices and definable personalities that spit in the face of the overtly cynical and stupid characters of other shows. Pim is a naive optimist who really wants to make everyone smile, but he's not an idiot. He makes tough decisions, understands some terrible parts of the world, has existential crises, gets mad, and kisses his dad on the lips. Charlie is a realist and a pessimist, but even then, while he occasionally disagrees with Pim, he's never a douche about it, and he's never doing stuff in bad faith. The boss is probably the most interesting of the bunch. Instead of being some backbreaking, creepy old guy boss, he's rather friendly, good-natured, and even more creepy than you could imagine. With something definitely slightly wrong with him, but that sort of adds to his charm. He's a fun reprieve from the usual boss trope, and all the gags with him are disturbing in a fun way. And while Alan and Glep are sidelined for most of the season, they're still nice background characters, and Alan's role in the pilot episode is still one of my favorite little stories, where he gets crucified by tiny purple people, all for just wanting his cheese. And all of these characters, despite being in a more absurd comedy, have a nice amount of realism to their actions and reactions from time to time, such as when they accidentally deliver a pipe bomb to a princess.
Oh my god, that was Bob the whole time?
The comedy of Smiling Friends, probably the most important part, is a grab bag of environmental, situational, slapstick, and plenty of other types of comedies, so that no joke stays for too long, and if something is amiss to you, there's always another scene and even another episode with a different premise or tone to keep things moving, with the only constant being Pim, Charlie, and at least one new character to focus on, and potentially make them smile. That little ding at the end is always a great sound to hear. There's a murder mystery, a fantasy quest, an imposter episode, a romance episode, and more, and I'm entirely impressed with how each episode's art never feels phoned in, and the jokes in the stories are never rehashed episode to episode. And while there aren't really any throw-line plots, that doesn't necessarily mean there needs to be. The plots of each episode are simple, easy to follow, occasionally solved in ways I didn't see coming, and a great mechanism for jokes and perhaps a tiny bit of introspection. By the end of it, like before, Smiling Friends is simply just plain fun to watch. It's not a cynic's wet dream, the characters generally seem to be good friends who enjoy doing their job. For every quick moment of darkness, there's brevity and a smile to be had, and the show is never making fun of any one concept or person, but rather a lot of situations. This is, in its entirety, a good faith, completely competent comedy that people clearly had fun making. And it has enough of its own unique design and flair to stand out next to other Adult Swim shows, Comedy Central shows, terrible shows, and even the big-ticket serializations. And, without a doubt, the show will very likely complete its mission to make you smile. Thanks for watching. I binged through all 8 episodes of Smiling Friends, as well as watched it constantly being repropped up on YouTube. The memes are great. It's a fun show to watch, and I'm excited to see what they have for Season 2. If you have any recommendations for what I should watch or any other Adult Swim shows that you think I might like, let me know. And thanks so much for watching. Feel free to like, to comment, and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. Thank you all, and I'll see you next time.